What is up, everybody, subscribers and viewers and followers? Welcome back to Apolacay Armory, and hopefully you are all doing great and enjoying your time at your favorite shooting ranges and also spending an awesome time with your family. In our previous video, we talk about trigger control, and hopefully you are learning something, or at least getting a good dosage of information about rifle shooting that would help to improve your shooting skills. If you consider yourself a marksman, a shooter, or a hunter, I'm assuming that you can hit your target accurately and consistently once you press the trigger. If you watch my video about trigger control, by now you probably have the understanding that pressing the trigger is simple, but it can cause inaccuracy if you handle it roughly. If you have been practicing the fundamentals of rifle shooting and becoming proficient, then it's time to begin working on another important part that sometimes we tend to neglect. Many of us think that pressing the trigger is the final stage of rifle shooting. Well, after pressing the trigger, we know that our bullet is finally on its way to our target. But we have another hurdle to deal with, and this is called follow through. Let's go to the range. Well, my friends, welcome back to our range. And for those of you who just happened to click the thumbnail, welcome to my channel. If you like what you see here, don't forget to click the like, share, and ring that bell button so you will be notified every time I uploaded a new video. Sa atin pong mga taga-subaybay at mga kaibigang Filipino, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Nandito na naman po tayo sa paborito nating range para alamin at pag-usapan kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng follow-through at papaano po ito i-apply sa rifle shooting. Well, going back when I was a young recruit, during our grass week, our marksmanship instructor provided us all what we need to know about the basic of marksmanship. Then the following week is what we call the firing week. I was aiming through the iron sights of my M16A2 service rifle. Well, and yes, if you are watching and you are in MCRD recruit training in 1992, then you know that we don't have optics back then, and we shoot our M16A2 service rifle from 200, 300, and 500 yards using only iron sights. Well, I remember I was in a sitting position shooting from 200-yard line, and the first round I fired was a very well-aimed shot hitting the center of the target. Well, then my coach tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, great shot, recruit, keep it there, but you failed to follow through." And then I said to myself, what in the world is a follow through? I delivered an awesome shot and hit the center of the target. Isn't that enough? Well, in rifle marksmanship, I would say that after integrating all the fundamentals and fired a well-aimed shot, follow through is the final step that will set you up for your next shot. Follow through is not so difficult to master, but we often bypass this part of rifle shooting because we think that pressing the trigger is the final stage. So what is follow through? When we fire a shot, as the bullet leaves the barrel, a substantial amount of movement and vibration runs through the rifle. This movement or reaction is known to us as recoil. Once the shot has been fired, do not shift your position or lift your cheek off the stock, and make sure to maintain your cheek weld on the stock of the rifle. Do not pull your head off right away after you fired the shot. And most shooters who are new to rifle shooting make this mistake all the time. Let your body absorb the recoil And once the rifle settles down, wait for at least 2 to 3 seconds till after it's settled. Unless you need to send an immediate follow-up shot, I would say that be still, because there's no need to be in a hurry and chamber another round. Perhaps the simplest explanation for this is that after the shot has been fired and the rifle settled down, follow through begins by keeping pressure on the trigger after the shot is fired, and realigning back your sights and making a mental note where your crosshair reticle were when you press the trigger, and at the same time rechecking your natural point of aim. And you cannot neglect the importance of follow through, because this is another key ingredient to improving your consistency as a shooter. Well, as you can see, follow through sounds very simple to do, but many shooters, including myself, sometimes get excited to see the impact in the target by looking at our spotting scope immediately after the shot. In our previous video, we talked about trigger control, and if you remember, there was a part in that video where I mentioned that I will continue to hold my trigger to the rear for my follow through. Steady pressure on the trigger until it fires. Once I hear the click, I will continue holding my trigger to the rear for my follow through. One significant element for a good follow through is trigger control. I've seen shooters often let go of the trigger immediately after the shot is fired. It's like they felt an electrical current that shocked their trigger finger, and that's why they yank it out right away. This presents a problem and a huge mistake, because it will not let you have a good follow through. Many shooters are convinced that one solution to be good at shooting in long distance, such as 600, 800, and 1,000 yards, is to join competition. Well, don't get me wrong. I believe that one way to measure the level of our marksmanship skills is to compete. But if that's not possible because we are on a budget, then you can compete with your friends or shooting buddies at the range and have a little bit of fun. I've heard some shooters say, how can you not miss at 50 or 100 yards? It is so close. Of course, you are only shooting at this distance, but if you make a slight mistake, such as failure to execute a good follow through, there's no doubt that you will hit the target, but there's a possibility that it will be outside the X-ring. Marksmanship is a skill that dissolves easily, meaning we can only maintain this skill through continuous training. With that said, I hope that you learned something from this video. Go out there, go to the range, and keep practicing. Once again, this is your friend Apolakay saying, know and follow all the weapons and range safety rules, and continue hitting the X-ring. At sa ating mga kaibigang mga Pilipino, saan man po kayo sa apat na sulok ng mundo, mabuhay po kayong lahat. Semper Fi. Until next time.